everyone, Mitch coming in for the Commander's Core studio. Welcome to the show. So on today's episode, I've got an exciting one for you. That's right, I'm talking about the strongest budget commanders nobody talks about. Let's jump into them. First up, Jarad, Golgari, Lich Lord. Now, this is a commander that can hit you in two different ways and absolutely wipe the table with everyone out of absolutely nowhere. It is a 2/2 zombie elf for 4 mana in Golgari. Gets ++1 for each creature card in your graveyard. So let's start off with that. First of all, this can be a massive commander. Absolutely huge commander. It's quite easy in this color combination to mill yourself to get a lot of things into your graveyard, essentially. And, well, when you do that, when you get a lot of creatures in there, this can very easily become a 3-shot KO, a 2-shot KO, and yes, even a 1-shot KO at some point. But you might not even have to do that, essentially, because of that other ability. Pay 3 mana in Golgari, sacrifice another creature. Each opponent loses life equal to the sacrificed creature's power. Now, this is basically just a mass drain waiting to happen. Kind of like an adjacent fling effect, essentially, but it's hitting all of your opponents at once. And by doing that, well, with certain creatures, it's just like an instantaneous combo. I mean, it kind of is a combo in certain ways. I mean, there are certain creatures out there that just have an insane amount of power, like Lord of Extinction, essentially, at a certain point of the game, is going to be large enough to take out all of your opponents, at the same time when you sacrifice it. Or the, Cactuar, essentially, as well, at 10,000 power, whatever it is, essentially. We got a lot of different creatures out there that you can just wipe out all of your opponents at once, Wall of Blood style even, too, with this ability. Again, so you either can go one of two ways. You're kind of roping up your opponents. You can say, okay, I've got the biggest creature on the board. Oh, wait, no, I've got this other creature that I'm now just going to sacrifice and drain you all out of nowhere. On top of that, sacrifice a swamp and a forest. You can bring it back from your grave to your hand. So, same way to get around commander text, kind of, but not really. So, if you really want to do that, you can, but yeah, focusing more so on the giant pump as well as the way to just demolish your opponents by sacrificing a single creature. I mean, you can sit around the entire game, basically just doing absolutely nothing, and then you play your Lord of Extinction, and then you sacrifice it, and then you win. That's how powerful this can be. Moving on, yet another budget commander that can absolutely dominate, absolutely destroy your opponents, Ratadrabik of Urborg. This amazing art version is just 65 cents, very budget friendly, a 3/3 zombie wizard for 4 mana in Orzhov. Vigilance ward to other zombies you control Vigilance, but it's not a zombie tribal deck. I mean, I guess you could go that way, but sure. Anyways, whenever other legendary creature you control dies, create a token that's a copy of that creature, except it's not legendary, is a 2/2 black zombie to other types and colors. So basically, this is one where yeah, you get a bunch of legendaries, you chuck them into the deck that are really, really powerful legendaries, and all of a sudden, you've got a recipe for disaster for your opponents. Being able to go, okay, yeah, what I'm going to do is get these amazing legends in play, maybe some that have some great ETBs or LTBs, sacrifice them, and all of a sudden, yeah, I get to replace them with a token copy of themselves. Of course, that token is not legendary too, so I can populate it, get extra copies of that. I can also maybe reanimate the actual legendary creature, so I've got multiple in play. You can do some absolutely insane things with some absolutely insane zombie token versions, plus the regular versions of these legendary creatures. You can definitely take over the game. Again, in every single set, it seems like we're getting an insane amount of legendary support. So yeah, Ratadrabik is getting more and more powerful as time goes on. Up next on the list, Farmer Cotton. Small but mighty, a 1/1 halfling peasant for X green and a white. When it enters the battlefield, create X 1/1 white halfling creature tokens and X food tokens. Now, this might seem like a commander that is very simple and straightforward, but there's a lot of nuance to it as well. I mean, very simply and straightforwardly, it's like, okay, get a bunch of mana, dump it into this, and all of a sudden you've got an army and a lot of food in the making. Now, when you are making insane amounts of tokens like this, there are, of course, certain things out there that you can really take advantage of. Certain things are like, okay, the number of permanents you have on the board, number of creatures on the board, number of artifacts you have on the board, the amount of life that you gain in a turn. There's a lot of ways to take advantage of when you are making tokens, and maybe getting extra tokens from that as well. You can do a lot of different avenues for this, where once you're set up properly, you play this for an insane amount, and then all of a sudden you just absolutely take over the game. Of course, in a go-wide strategy like this as well, potentially, you've got a lot of great anthems. I mean, we're getting more and more better anthems these days for this color combination. So yeah, take over the game, demolish your opponents, gain a ton of life. There's a lot of different directions you can take this one, but yeah, the amount of value cannot be denied. Now, this one's worth your attention, though, with Hofri Ghostforge. Now, this is a commander that is near and dear to my heart. It is one of my commander decks I still am utilizing to this day, and it is one where, yeah, Wizards maybe didn't realize what players were going to do with it. At least players like me are going to do with it. Essentially, it's a 4/5 Dwarf Cleric for 5 mana in Boros. Spirits you control get +1, have Trample, and Haste. Whenever another non-token creature you control dies, exile. If you do, create tokens copy of that creature, except it's a spirit of other types and colors, and has... When this creature leaves the battlefield, return this exiled card to your graveyard. Now, here's the thing. It does say to your graveyard. Here's maybe what Wizards didn't realize is that players like me would go, oh, no. You think I'm going to be sacrificing my own creatures? I mean, I will be doing that, a couple of them, but no. I'm going to be stealing my opponent's creatures and taking them. So, yes, it has been errated. There is new Oracle text, basically, where it says, to its owner's graveyard, I believe is what it says, essentially. But basically, with this kind of a commander, yeah, you use a bunch of threaten effects because you've got a ton of those in this color combination. Threaten your opponent's creatures, use a free sacrifice outlet of some sort, sacrifice them, and all of a sudden, you get a better version of your opponent's creature. So it's like removal, plus you gaining control of something like a clone effect in a way, too. It's absolutely insane, absolutely so much fun. Make sure you check out my episode on that one. It's just an absolute blast, and it can definitely punch up and take over a game. Speaking of punching, though, yeah, Kresh the Bloodbraided. Okay, this is kind of adjacent to Jarad, the first commander that we talked about, but instead of it being another giant creature that you're going to be flinging at someone, it's going to be Kresh. This is one where you can get to that critical amount in absolutely no time. A 3/3 Human Warrior for 5 mana in Jund. Whenever another creature dies, you may put X counters on Kresh for X that creature's power. I mean, there are very, 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 very few scenarios your opponents will ever survive once you're set up properly with this, because this creature can become absolutely massive out of nowhere. Again, game of Commander, the board is just naturally going to grow, right? There's going to be creatures in play, creatures have power. You, of course, can get creatures that have an insane amount of power as well in play. Sure. That being said, you just cast like one mass edict effect, essentially, where players have to sacrifice like half their boards, like bonus hunger kind of thing. And all of a sudden, this is going to be like the most massive creature on the board by far. It's going to have like 60 power, and you're going to be like, okay, cool. All right, now what? What do I do with this? I guess technically you could have Jarad in the deck and just sacrifice Kresh to Jarad, and there you go. You just take everyone out at the same time. Or you can fling it at players, or there's a lot of other ways you can get it through. You can trample through. Kresh is one that is just brute strength, brute force. I'm going to be a massive creature, the biggest creature on the board by far. If something's bigger than me, my owner's going to take it out, and then I'm going to be twice as big, basically. So essentially with this one, yeah, you make it large, you swing at players, you sacrifice it, you fling it, you do all these things, and out of nowhere, you are demolishing your opponents by far. With great power comes great responsibility. I'm pretty sure Tanazir Quandrix said that. Anyways, a 4/4 Elder Dragon with flying and trample for 5 mana in Simic enters the battlefield, double the number of counters on target creature you control. That's lovely, that's nice. That's not necessarily the focus of this deck, because whenever Tanazir Quandrix attacks, you may have the base power and toughness of other creatures you control become equal to Tanazir Quandrix power and toughness until end of turn. That is insane. That is absurd. That is literally just, okay, I need to focus this deck on two things. I need to go wide with a bunch of creatures, and I'm in a great color combination to do that. In fact, I've got certain token doublers if I'm willing to spend up on the budget for those too. But yeah, anyways, regardless, on a budget, you can still do insane things with this one, just going super wide with so many ways to make so many tokens. And then all of a sudden, you literally just swing with this, you pump this in a variety of ways, and your entire army is swinging for like, I don't know, like 10 plus essentially each. Even more so potentially. You got ways to get them through this color combination as well. Cards like Levitation to give them all evasion. Yeah, it's a great commander at just saying, okay, plug and play. Let's go wide. Let's pump me a little bit. And all of a sudden, my army is massive and swinging through and just demolishing all my opponents. Next up, a commander with not many decks to its name at all. Teferi, Mage of Zhalfir, a 3/4 human wizard flash for 5 mana in blue. For each card you own that aren't on the battlefield have flash. Each opponent can cast spells only anytime they cast a sorcery. Now, this is a commander that is absolutely insane. It is a commander that, again, is, well, again, pretty flexible in that it has flash. You can get it out when you need to get it out right before your turn. And, of course, your turn is set up properly, where essentially, yeah, you can't stop me from doing what I want to do. You literally can just go, okay, you're all set up? Okay, cool, all right. Yeah, I play this. Any responses? No? Okay. You will have no other responses. You literally can't do anything about any of my controlling pieces in the game. you can't stop me from countering things because, again, you can only cast sorcery speed spells. So, again, if you cast something, I counter it with a counter spell. You can't play a counter spell because you can't play instant speed. So, all of a sudden, yeah, I can just control whatever I want to control. And, of course, on top of that, yeah, your opponents then, therefore, can't counter your things either because they can only play at sorcery speed. So if you have any kind of a combo, they just lose because they cannot stop it at all. So this is a commander that can come out of nowhere. Your opponents might think you're not doing anything. You're just like twiddling your thumbs, playing a bunch of mana rocks or whatever. And then all of a sudden it's like, okay, you're passing your turn. Okay, I play my commander. Okay, my turn. Untap, upkeep, draw. All right, play my combo. Yeah, no responses. Didn't think so. I win. That's basically how the game's gonna go. Absolutely insane. Insane budget-friendly commander. And there's a lot of great budget-friendly combos in Mono Blue. This is where things get interesting, though. A commander that is so much fun. Sedris the Traitor King, a 5/5 zombie warrior for 6 mana in Grixis. Each creature card in your graveyard has Unearth for 2 and a black. Now, that means you return the card back to play, it gets haste, and it gets exiled at the end of the turn. Or if it would leave play, Unearth is low sorcery. Now, here's the thing. Yeah, there's rules, right? There are rules. Okay, there are rules. That's okay. We've got ways to get around those rules. I mean, one easy way that's kind of getting around the rule, essentially, is like, okay, I earn something absolutely massive out of my graveyard, and then I clone it. I got plenty of clone effects in this color combination. I'm just going to clone it, and now I got a cheaper version of that. Again, maybe it was a massive creature that costs like 10 mana or whatnot, and all of a sudden I'm like, okay, I get it back for 3, very cheap. All of a sudden I clone it, and now, well, I get an extra copy of it. That's amazing, and that first one has haste, so I get to swing with it. Cool. That being said, of course, there are certain cards out there that maybe can have you stop the turn, essentially, and just take everything off the stack, like, Obeka. So all of a sudden you're able to go, okay, yeah, no, let's not do that. Or Sundial the Infinite type cards, basically. Yeah, let's just skip that part so the creature just doesn't leave, and then they stay forever. So yeah, being able to get around that, being able to utilize some amazing tutors that put things right in your graveyard, you can get the exact creature that you need for the situation you're in. It's an amazing commander that can help you cheat on cost in a different way. It is so much fun, so powerful. Check it out. Next up, Thantis the Warweaver, a commander that can definitely throw a wrench into everyone else's plans. Now, in Commander, yeah, I mean, players out there, many players, myself included, can definitely get into the mindset in certain games of, okay, if I just turtle up, all right, eventually, I'm going to get to the part where I've got the best board state, and I'm just going to dominate from there. But I've got to turtle up right now. I've got to make good decisions. Thantis says, no, you can't make those decisions. 5/5 Spider Vigilance and Reach for 6 mana in Jund. All creatures attack each combat of Fable. Yeah, typically in a game of Commander, players aren't just like, yeah, attack. No. Players are sitting back being like, all right, I need to bring up my defenses. There's 3 other players. I can't just keep attacking. I will be wide open then and get taken out too quickly. And also, I want to keep these creatures around because, like, some creatures like your commander maybe have a good ability or whatnot, and you built the deck around them, but they're super weak and super tiny, and they'll get taken out in combat. Theta says, I don't care. Start swinging. Also, by the way, whenever a creature attacks me or Planeswalker I control, I get a counter on Thantis. So all of a sudden, yeah, hey, swing at me, go ahead. This will become the most massive creature on the board by far in absolutely no time. It's got Vigilance and Reach, so it's an amazing blocker and can swing freely as well. And of course, I can have other things that maybe deter opponents from attacking, maybe benefit me further from attacking me, essentially. Maybe make them swing elsewhere, essentially, with goading kind of effects. Yeah, this is basically just chaos incarnate when it comes to swinging, forcing those swings. It's absolutely amazing. Check it out. And finally, Titania, Nature's Force, a 6/6 elemental for 6 mana in green, just underneath $1.99. A fantastic budget-friendly commander. You may play Force from your graveyard. When a Force you control enters, create a 5/3 green and multi-creature token. Whenever an elemental you control dies, you may mill 3 cards. This is a commander that is absolutely insane. Just getting a land into play gets you a 5/3. That is so much power to have. Every single time a Force hits the battlefield, you're like, okay, 5/3. Okay, 5/3. Okay, 5/3. By the way, I've got Anthems. By the way, I've got, power doublers. By the way, I've got so many things to pump this entire team. Also, other benefits maybe when, lands come into play. Other benefits when elementals come into play. Other token benefits, too. On top of that, when those get taken out, you mill a ton, and all of a sudden you get access to more cards. Now, all of a sudden, if you've got those, hey, play extra lands in a turn types of cards, you get more force back out. You've got so many different avenues to victory with this one. This is such a good commander. Certain combo potential as well. It is so much fun, so powerful. Check it out. And with that, this episode is coming to a close. As always, comment below with your thoughts on it. And of course, as always, thanks again and have a good one. This show and episodes like this one are possible thanks to viewers like you. If you're looking for an easy way to help support this show, make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. Also, hit that bell notification icon so you don't miss any new episodes. You can also go check out our playmats and other merchandise at thecommandersquarters.com. Another easy way to support this show is with our TCG player affiliate links. So whether you're buying a deck or individual cards, you can use this general link right here or one in the description. And the final way that you can support this show is by supporting us directly by becoming a patron. There are many benefits to being a patron, and I truly couldn't do this without all of their support.